to me.
Information, news, and entertainment on demand.
WSRadio.com.
Moe's Guitars is the proud sponsor of Girls Talk Rock. Over 35 years of helping girls and guys rock. Moe's Guitars, M-O-Z-E, guitars.com.
Welcome to Girls Talk Rock, where the musician's creativity finds its voice. And here are your hosts, Tracy Smith and Beth Venus.
Hey, it's Girls Talk Rock with Tracy Smith.
And Beth Venus.
We're so happy to be here on this wonderfully hazy Wednesday evening in February. For those of you joining us, you know that Girls Talk Rock is here for you, the who, what, where, when, and how of music here in Southern California. We want to highlight that today, after our show, this is the first landmark show with, of course, we have Rodney Elliott following us at 7 o'clock. He has a Gear Talk. And those of you gearheads out there, we want to make sure you stay tuned because this is the show with all the new supplies. And I don't mean just what you see at NAMM, but what's coming out in between, who's doing what the demand is. Make sure you stick around. He's a really good head to pick, and we want to see who he's bringing on and what he's doing. In the meantime, hey, Tracy, I know today our show is with Marcella Detroit. We're waiting for her to call in.
Right, Marcy Levy, if you're out there, we need you to call in right now.
And we wanted to really share with everybody that we're really expanding what we're doing. The past 4 months, Girls Talk Rock has been bringing you to venues. We've brought you to showcases. We've had a lot of different events, but really bringing you some of the top artists in the industry is part of our goal as well, so that our listeners, who most of you are professional working musicians or want to be, can, kind of follow in the footsteps. So, Marcella Detroit, she's like amazing in so many
why don't we
ways.
tell them a little bit about who she is and what she does?
Yeah, this is somebody who, if she's not a household name for you, maybe she ought to be, right?
Right.
This is a writer, somebody who's a composer, and also a performer who's toured with Bob Seger, Eric Clapton, Chaka Khan, Belinda Carlisle. Holy Mary, I could go on and on.
She's written for and played with Aretha Franklin and Robin Gibb.
Oh my gosh, Robin Gibb.
Right?
So
Are you kidding?
she has such a long resume that today we're hoping to talk to her about what got her to where she's going and, what she enjoys. Of course, y'all who know me, I want to know some of the road trip stories.
That's right. We're going to try and get a couple out of her tonight.
That's coming and going. We've got Connor Rice here, our intern producer here at the board, and he is running things. He's going to give us a big thumbs up when we get the call in. But I wanted to address, until we hear from Marcella, I hope we get to call her Marcy, but Marcella, I wanted to address some of the other events that we have coming up down the line. So, Tracy, this is a good time for you to share what we've got coming up. Our guests here on Girls Talk Rock.
Oh, yes. Okay. Oh, my gosh. So we got so much going on. Let's see. Paris Escovedo and his daughter Melody are going to be coming on. And, we're going to be calling that a generation show because anytime you've got a couple different generations of musicians that are, Paris has been doing it for 30 plus years. And now he's bringing up his daughter in the same type of industry, doing the Latin drumming, percussion.
It's sometimes generational.
Following in the footsteps of her aunt, who is Sheila E.
Oh my gosh! And this is what we wanted to bring up because for our listeners out there, we want to hear from you. Going into the spring season, and I know with this weather, it's really hard to believe, but we're looking at this as spring, and we are so interested in what our musicians are doing out there. We want to know if you have a father-son, a father-daughter, or if you worked under the tutelage of a parent or uncle. We want you to go ahead and email us. You can email us at tracy@girlstalkrock.com.
And or Beth at Girls Talk Rock. Yeah.
Because we're really looking to kind of like share that. That's something we want to get out there because we're doing our New Generations show. And we also want to see if we can get something else out of you. We are, not so secretly planning a Summerfest, a summer show. Do we even have a name for it yet, Tracy?
No, we could probably just call it Strawberry Fields Forever or something
Strawberry
like that.
Fields Forever. That means we have to have a Beatles tribute.
We
Needless
have a
to
couple
say-
of those.
Yeah, we have.
We know where to find a few of those.
But also for our listeners out there, we want to get your press kits. We want to know who you are. We want to know what you're doing. And this one you can send to me at beth@girlstalkrock.com. Make sure you spell it correctly. Submit to us. Tell us who you are, what you do, what you're playing. We want to know if you're an original artist. We want to know if you're a cover artist, a tribute artist. Our goal, really, Tracy, right, is
Yes.
to get you involved.
Yes.
We want you to be part of what we're doing and really share in the network that can be exploited through radio and through our vlog, of course,
Well, yeah,
and through
and
other projects that we're doing.
Since we have a ticketing system set up, and we have somebody called Silver Tiger Production on the line that's going to be helping
cool.
us out a little bit.
Well, and that really is a message out there. And I don't mean to send this out as like, hey, we just want you to play at this one gig. We really do want to see what we can do to share some of our interests with you. Those of you who know what Tracy does, she's been a promoter and a arts supporter on so many levels over the years. And to share with you guys who, if you don't know who yours truly, who is here. Of course, I own and operate studio at CCMA, and one branch is exclusively booking and managing and facilitating events. And we are in the early stages of planning a quite a large event this summer.
Here we got some big stuff coming up.
Big stuff coming up,
Hang
so-
on. Buckle in. Put the seatbelt on.
So please do, listeners, or spread the word. And again, you can be a cover band. You can be, which means fun, variety. Make sure you have some kind of theme. Please don't just throw me the kitchen sink.
We love the kitchen sink.
Well,
Come on.
then tell me you're the kitchen sink.
It sounds good.
Tribute. Maybe you're a tribute band. Maybe you're getting off your feet. Maybe you tour nationally. I don't know. Tell me what you do. Or if you're an original artist, if you're a solo artist, a duo or a trio, tell us what you need. We're going to be putting together a really great stage in a North County location. It's undisclosed right now.
Yeah, and let me just say one thing really quickly,
Yeah.
too, that we are going to be creating events at the studio at CCMA because we have something now called R&T. That's Randy and Tracy. And we are going to be bringing people in. We're going to be offering them photographs, video if you want it, if you already have it. We're going to be setting everything up for you so that if you need a press kit, you need a working press kit that you can submit anywhere in town and to Beth at CCMA.
Well, this
for upcoming
brings us
gigs.
to something, and as we, I know we're waiting for a phone call, and who knows with the weather and what's going on. Maybe let's just transcend. If we don't hear from Marcella right away, I want to make sure that we make our next segment a real discussion that we can have with.
I'm here.
Oh,
Marcella's on the line.
Hello,
We didn't even know. Where'd you come from, girl?
Marcella. Hey,
Well,
so
whoever connected me to you didn't tell me to say anything. You just said,
well, there it is.
hang,
We're all
listen,
learning, aren't we?
And they'll get to you soon.
Well,
All right.
welcome,
glad I said
welcome,
something.
welcome,
Awesome.
Marcella, Detroit. Hey,
we are
guys.
so excited to have you tonight, Marcella, because man, you're from what we read of your resume, if you're as good as your resume says it is, then you're amazing, and we love
Half
to
as
talk
good.
to
Oh, Holy
amazing.
Mary.
We love to talk to amazing musicians. So we're so happy you joined us tonight.
Thank you. And you probably know also that our listeners are a lot of musicians out there, Marcella. And we were telling them about, you have such a vast background as far as composing, writing, working with, and touring with so many great artists. And so what we really want to get to today is sharing with them what was working and what was working. But at the root of it, in this first segment, our real goal was to find out what got you started in music to start with. Were you at church? Were you at home? Was it mom? Was it dad? Or you just had to do it? What brought it on?
Well, really, I think from a very early age, I had this affinity towards music, and my father was very encouraging, and he played the ukulele, and he and I always used to sing, in harmony, and I don't know, when I got in school, and when I was about 5 or 6, I was always singing. I was in school choirs, and doing duets, and quintets, quartets. Like barbershop quartets. I mean, you name it. Wherever music was involved, in school chorus and everything, I was involved. And then I started playing violin when I was 8. and I just haven't really stopped playing. You know, I whatever instrument I can get my hands on, that's what I try to play.
Now, was the violin through a school program, or did your parents like find a way to get you private lessons and get you really on the fast track to learning?
No, it was school.
Nice.
They offered, well, first of all offered everyone learn to play the recorder, and then we were asked, well, what instrument do you want to play? And my first choice was harp, but my parents said, oh, it's too big and it's too expensive.
I love it.
Yeah, good choice, parents.
Well, right. I said, well, I really like the violin, so I'd like to try that. And I didn't even know until not too long ago that my great-grandfather was a concert violinist.
Oh,
wow.
What a great legacy to have that you've passed down on that. I mean, you know, and the reason I was asking about schools because, of course, we just want to promote school programs, and you know, we wouldn't have an artist like you if that wasn't something that was an option for you.
That's right.
You know, on any
We want to
scale.
make sure not to lose school programs. They're very important.
You know, and of course, since we came on so late with you, Marcella, I hope you're patient with us, and thank you for being so patient.
No problem.
Listeners, we are going to have a 3-minute little commercial break. And, you know, Tracy, when we come back, we're really going to get into these tours and some of this writing that you're doing.
Yeah, we want to find out all about your history and what you've done with the major artists that you have worked with. That's what we're waiting for.
And maybe some juicy stories. And, of course, we're going to talk about your new project, Gray Matter. Come back with us, listeners. We're Girls Talk Rock with Marcella Detroit. And we are so happy to have her for 3 more segments. Thank you to our sponsors.
Yeah, Mo's Guitars and studio at CCMA. We've also got Silver Tiger Production. We've also got She Rocks the Planet with Meredith. And we've also got Ronnie Lee, Play It Like a Girl Records. We'll be right back, guys. Hang on for 3 minutes.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Thank you for listening to WS Radio. Improve your business and your life with useful information from experts and thought leaders. WS Radio is radio with ROI.
You may have heard me brag about Progressive Medical Center and just how much they've helped me with my health. And Dr. Goley, one thing that you've helped so many people with is migraines.
Unfortunately, there are millions and millions of Americans who are suffering with migraines and headaches, and they're debilitating because it affects the quality of their life, and they cannot function properly. At Progressive, we get to the root cause because we understand that migraines could be caused by nutritional deficiencies, hormonal imbalances, believe it or not, delayed food sensitivities. And once we determine what the real reason is, we put a plan of action together with medication that we get them off slowly, and we put them on an all-natural approach, and the results are amazing.
Incredible. I mean, there's so many people that can say they don't live their lives with migraines anymore thanks to Progressive Medical Center.
And that's what's exciting and rewarding to us as physicians because we help our patients take control of their health, and that's why they're living well.
Why don't you get a hold of Progressive Medical Center today? Don't live in pain. Don't have migraines anymore. Just go to their website, progressivemedicalcenter.com.
This is your life. Live it well.
Hey guys, CS Keys here to introduce you to San Diego's #1 health meal prep provider, Fresh and Fit Meals. With over 40 menu items to choose from, several pickup locations all over America's finest city, made and delivered fresh, never frozen. Save on time and money. Super convenient and improves the quality of your life. Just visit the website, freshandfitmeals.com, for all the menus and the pricing. Or give them a call at 858-805-5949 for more details. Remember, you are what you eat, so you might as well be fresh and fit with Fresh and Fit Meals.
Hey, it's Catherine from Listen Local Radio. Mo's Guitars has proudly served the San Diego music community since 1975. Specializing in guitars, basses, mandolins, banjos, and ukuleles, they buy, sell, trade, and consign. If you're looking for lessons, repairs, accessories, and cool gear, you found the right place. Located in downtown La Mesa Village, stop by and check out their digs or visit mozguitars.com or their Facebook page, mozeguitars.com, 619-698-1185.
Hi, this is Rob Barnett, VinVillage.com, where wine lovers connect. Be sure to tune in weekly to Vin Village Radio for exclusive, in-depth interviews with the who's who in wine and food.
Information, news, and entertainment on demand.
WSRadio.com.
Moe's Guitars is the proud sponsor of Girls Talk Rock. Over 35 years of helping girls and guys rock. Moe's Guitars, M-O-Z-E, guitars.com.
Welcome to Girls Talk Rock, where the musician's creativity finds its voice. And here are your hosts, Tracy Smith and Beth Venus.
Hello, hello, hello. Right over the guitar solo. Hey, I was just looking confused because the rubber on my microphone just broke. That sounds very naughty.
I know it does sound naughty, but we're here with an amazing artist right now, Marcella Detroit, aka Marcy. Is it Levy or Levy?
Levy rhymes with Chevy.
I like it. We'll take it.
Love it.
Well, I have to know going into this when we wanted to return and talk about some of your touring and some of your writing with some major acts. But when did you start being called Marcella Detroit? I know you're from Detroit.
Well, that was much later on in my career. That was when I joined the band Shakespeare Sister in the late 80s. I was always a background singer, and my partner suggested, hey, why don't you maybe you should change your name to kind of separate yourself from being just this background singer. And so my real name is Detroit. I'm sorry, my real name is Marcy, and I'm from Detroit.
You are from Detroit.
So actually, my real name is Marcella. So I just thought, well, I'll use Marcella, and then because Detroit influenced me so much, I just thought that would be a great second name.
What a great homestead. Well, I know Tracy's like hexing me. She's like, we're going to talk about that later, Bethy. But what we really need to know is about your history.
Yeah, so what we're going to get into right now is what was the connection that that led you into working with Bob? Everybody has to know that basically your first tour was with Bob Seger. So we were going to ask some questions about how did you actually get into working with Bob Seger? What was the catalyst?
Well, basically, I was in a band in Detroit. It was just a local band, but we played around the Midwest. We were called Julia, and at one point we opened for David Bowie, and Bob Seger's band was looking for a band for his manager. Was looking for a band for him because he had just gotten rid of the guys that he was playing with, and he came to see us. And the next thing we know, he's hiring us all to back up Bob. So that's really how that happened, to kind of like being in the right place at the right time. But, you know, we were working hard. I mean, we were touring all over the Midwest, and we were really, it was a good band with some really good musicians. So,
but we got
lucky.
Let's back up a second. You said you were playing with David Bowie? We
actually opened for David Bowie.
Right, when you
Detroit.
get the call to work with Bob. So how does that happen? How do you get to work with David Bowie? I mean, our listeners want to know.
Well, I didn't work with David Bowie. I was in my band Julia, and we got on the bill with to open for him. And I don't know how it happened, quite honestly. I just think that it happened because we were quite well known in the Midwest. Yeah. And when he was playing in this really cool theater in Detroit called the Fisher Theater, we got a call through our manager and the booking agents that were we available to do the gig, and we were like, "Are you kidding?
Are you kidding? We'll
really?
Take it."
Really?
But your answer alone speaks volumes because a lot of artists, you know,
organic.
It's organic, but they might get an opportunity to support a major headliner or even a minor headliner, you know, you guys, anybody out of my listeners, our listeners know I always say it should have an emotional or fiscal payoff, or hopefully both. But, you know, if it has a great payoff of some kind, an event like that, was that more of an opportunity, or was that like, oh, well, we're getting paid so much, we might as well do that? I am sure you guys saw it as both. On the.
Oh, I didn't think about getting paid.
Nice. I love it.
It was an honor for me to be in a band that would be opening for David Bowie. At that point, I was already a huge fan. I had all of his records. I just loved him. So it was an incredible honor to be on the same stage, let alone being in the same, you know, airspace as him. We were not allowed backstage when he was there.
Wow.
I don't know why, but I managed to sneak back because I'm a little bit of a rebel, and I always
Yeah,
have been.
so are we. That's great. We love it.
Woo! I made up a story. I said, I've got to get backstage. I have to get something. I left something back there.
Awesome.
And they let me in, and I just walked past his dressing room, and I just,
what a thrill.
It was amazing. His whole demeanor, everything about him was just so charismatic. So I didn't get to say hello or talk to him, but it was still
You were a cool cat
very
about
cool.
it. You just wanted to be in the presence. I just think that's such a great story because, supporting and networking and just supporting and being in the presence of on a great show. And like you said, being on a great ticket is really something we really try to really strive for
Yes.
and share with our artists that is something it's really good to do that, guys. Get on that stage with that great artist and don't worry about, have a little humility and just go do it and see if you can get a different kind of payoff than just the mighty dollar. So what a cool beginning for you.
Yeah. And so now we're actually coming forward in your life a little bit in the timeline. Now, how did working with Bob and get you into working with Leon Russell? Because that was our next question.
Okay, well, interestingly enough, the band I was in, Julia, he hired all of us, but after a while he just kept me and the guitarist. The guitarist is a really talented guy. They were all talented, but the guitarist was named Bill Mueller, and he changed his name more recently to Blue Miller. He's been working with India Ari, the great soul pop artist, for a long time now, and produced her Grammy Award-winning records and stuff. But basically what happened was he fired everyone, kept Bill and I, and hired these guys from Tulsa, Oklahoma. And from then, after being with Bob for, I don't know, maybe about a total of 6 to 9 months, I decided I wanted to leave. I don't know, I was frustrated. I wanted to do my own thing. The guys from Tulsa that came into the band, they said, hey, why don't you, after we finish this tour with Bob, why don't you come and join us in Tulsa? And I thought, what a great opportunity, because I loved Leon Russell and the Shelter people, and I just thought anything I could do to get there to meet.
Such a great... Hey, Connor, are we still on? Or might be losing our... Hopefully she can hear us. We lost her right in mid-phrase, but... And we were just connecting with Marcella Detroit about her time with Leon Russell. She was talking about the great Bill Mueller, who is now known as Blue Mueller.
And that's an amazing
who's
story.
Working with India RV. Just sharing with us another reason why the connections and the networking years later
so important, right?
Is working.
Networking is everything.
Not just for her, not just for Marcella, for Marcy here online with us, but for someone she was playing with. I can't help wonder what it was like to be the rest of the band and get chopped.
If you'd like to make a call.
And get chopped from the blog, but those two got to stick around, and all these years later, they're working together. When we get Marcella back, we're going to really just want to know, because this leads into her time with Eric Clapton, and touring and writing with someone like that is something we really want to hear more about. Connor, are you going to go ahead and get us connected with that? Yeah, we know that we're having a little bit of technical difficulty, but what a great story to have somebody come on board. A lot of our listeners might not realize that is something. Hey, Marcella.
Hey, I don't know what happened.
Oh, we
keep losing you.
Driving through the hills.
It's driving us nuts. We really want to hear these stories. And we were talking about how you started to work with Leon Russell and how that you were also working with Bob Seger. But what we're curious about, because we're looking ahead in your timeline now, how do you get hooked up with someone like Eric Clapton?
Yummy.
Well, that was because of the Leon Russell connection and moving to Tulsa. Once I did work with Leon, the guys that I was in a band with before Leon used to come in and hired us, but the guys that I was in the band with in Tulsa when I moved to Tulsa and stopped working with Bob, they were great musicians. We were like the big fish in the little pond. And Leon and all these other incredible artists that lived in Tulsa, there were a lot of them, came in to see us, and Leon hired us. But then after the thing with Leon, then when that ended, my friends actually started working with Clapton, and Eric came to Tulsa because he was referred by this bass player from Tulsa named Carl Radel. and Carl said, hey, come and check these guys out if you're looking for a band. He said this to Eric. And Carl did a lot of work with Eric before that.
Right.
Anyway, so...
Network. Wow.
Yeah, so then Eric came to Tulsa. He wanted to hire us all, but I had already committed to working with Leon. So my friends went off to work with Eric. I worked with Leon for 9 months because he was one of my idols, and I just had to do that.
And that was the length of his tour, was like a 9-month tour or a rotation for recording, or what did that include when you were signed on for that?
When I was with Leon, it was about a 9-month tour. We did some recording. We did an album. It's called Stop All That Jazz, and it was with the Gap Band.
Oh, we love the Gap Band.
Great band.
Hoorah!
Yeah. Leon hired them, and he hired a few other, he hired some singers like myself and a few other girls. And, we recorded an album, and then we toured around. It was only around the States. We never went overseas or anything. No. But it was a very expensive tour. Once the tour was done, though, my friend said, okay, come and join us in Jamaica. And
twist your arm,
I went down there. Yeah, I'm like, what am I, nuts? Okay, so I'll go to Jamaica, and I ended up singing on about 5 or 6 songs of Eric's record. It was the There's One in Every Crowd album. And 5 days later, Eric said to me, hey, you want to be in the band? So I thought, well, I'd be an idiot not to.
Now we are leaving
Right?
on that note. We've got a 3-minute commercial coming up. When we return, we're really going to talk a little bit more about, hey, you want to be in the band? When you hear those words from Eric Clapton, we're going to talk a little bit more about her composing, her writing, and working in collaboration with others, and just what you guys can do out there to really follow in her footsteps and walk in the walk to be a working musician. Tracy, how are we going to exit?
Yeah, no, we're going to be back in 3 minutes, but we want to thank our sponsors, WS Radio, the worldwide leader in Internet talk, and we also want to give a shout out to Moe's Guitars, our major sponsor, and CCMA. We'll be right back.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
On the internet, your business's reputation can be unjustly destroyed in an instant. Don't wait for that to happen. Building and marketing your 5-star reputation can increase your business by as much as 19%. Take control of your reputation and have the 5-star reputation you deserve with Reputation Marketing Solutions by DSI Development. Become the go-to company by visiting 5starrepmarketing.com. The number 5starrepmarketing.com.
Hey, it's Catherine from Listen Local Radio. Moe's Guitars has proudly served the San Diego music community since 1975. Specializing in guitars, basses, mandolins, banjos, and ukuleles, they buy, sell, trade, and consign. If you're looking for lessons, repairs, accessories, and cool gear, you found the right place. Located in downtown La Mesa Village, stop by and check out their digs or visit moesguitars.com or their Facebook page. mozeguitars.com, 619-698-1185.
You've heard me bragging about Progressive Medical Center and how they've helped me feel so much healthier. But one thing, Dr. Agoli, that a lot of people come to you with is just unexplained pain. They just can't get any relief. Why can Progressive Medical Center's Pain Management Center help them?
First of all, we have to acknowledge that pain is for real, and you've got acute pain and chronic pain. Here's the problem. That acute pain turns to chronic, which is long-standing, and no one's getting to the root cause. There's several key diagnostic components that help us get to the root of what's causing this pain. Is it inflammation? Once we do a thorough evaluation to get to the root cause, determine if it's structural or if it's a metabolic issue. And this way, we put an individualized program for pain management involving correcting the spine, using certain injections when necessary, and we get our patients out of pain quicker, and they stay out of pain because we teach them how to live their life well.
Don't let yourself live in pain any longer. Get a hold of Progressive Medical Center today at progressivemedicalcenter.com.
Progressive Medical, this is your life, live it well.
Hey guys, CS Keys here to introduce you to San Diego's #1 health meal prep provider, Fresh and Fit Meals. With over 40 menu items to choose from, several pickup locations all over America's finest city, made and delivered fresh, never frozen. Save on time and money. Super convenient and improves the quality of your life. Just visit the website, freshandfitmeals.com, for all the menus and the pricing. Or give them a call at 858-805-5949 for more details. Remember, you are what you eat, so you might as well be fresh and fit with Fresh and Fit Meals.
Talk to me.
Information, news, and entertainment on demand.
WSRadio.com.
Moe's Guitars is the proud sponsor of Girls Talk Rock. Over 35 years of helping girls and guys rock. Moe's Guitars, M-O-Z-E, guitars.com.
Welcome to Girls Talk Rock, where the musician's creativity finds its voice. And here are your hosts, Tracy Smith and Beth Venus.
All right, I think we're back, Beth.
Hey, welcome back, and welcome back, Marcella, Detroit. Welcome back, Marcy Levy. It's so good to see you. Chevy Levy. I love it.
Levy, yeah, there we go.
We are just talking, and for those of you who come just joining us halfway through here, we're talking to Marcella Detroit, a.k.a. Marcy Levy. And this is somebody who is, I always say ought to be, I won't shit on anyone, should be a household name, really. You are someone who has composed, worked with, collaborated with, toured with, and just done the spectrum of what every dream working musician wish they had on their resume.
Yes.
So we just see you as just a real target.
And the networking is incredible.
For someone to follow and see what was done right. We wanted to come back and talk to you a little bit about your collaborations in writing with some of great people in the industry, including Eric-Clapton. And really, how did that begin where you were saying, hey, I can write too? And is that something that just kind of happened organically from having jams and trying to figure things out and harmonizing and working? Or were those set sessions that they said, hey, let's sit down and we need to plot out some tunes for this album? How did that happen?
Oh, no, back in those days, working with Clapton, nothing was ever planned out in those days. We just went into the studio and had to come up with things on the spot, really. What are we going to do for this album?
Right.
Let's just kind of go hang out in the studio and see what happens.
Awesome.
I'd been writing before that. Always, I think since about 12 years old, I was writing songs. But not until I worked with Clapton was I really getting any attention or any kind of, props for my writing. And that's kind of when it really started happening, when I was in his band. And it started on the first album. I kept writing. I wrote a song called "Hungry" with the keyboard player, with Dick Sims, and Eric liked it, so he used it on the album. It just kind of went on from there. And by the time we got into doing the Slow Hand album, I had already written a few songs with Eric for other albums. And on that one, I helped him write "Lay Down, Sally." I came up with a melody for that and a lot of the lyrics. He came up with the title. He said, "Hey, Marcy, I want to write a song called 'Lay Down, Sally.'" And I thought, what an interesting title.
Ain't that bold?
So yeah. How are we going to make that work?
How
that
do you
was my
sell that?
mission.
Yeah,
So
I
did
like
you...
these,
sorry, go ahead.
I like challenges. No, go ahead.
I was going to ask you, are you actually a studio musician, or were you back then, or did you just, fly by the seat of your pants, kind of just, ASCAP, BMI, and all that, probably nowadays, but... what path did you take when you were that young, writing with doing that type of heavy music with
getting
Eric?
credit for your work?
Yes.
Yeah. How did that work? Were you in a room full of 10 people, and did everybody get some accreditation for their work, or was it just considered the Eric Clapton or the group that you were with that got credit for the piece?
No, it was just organic. That, like I said, just working with Eric and him trying to come up with ideas and playing riffs and all the band, we were all playing different things, and he just asked me to help write the lyric. And we actually, especially with "Lay Down, Sally," we actually were working on the song all day, and it was a completely different groove. And once he started playing the groove that it is now, the famous, iconic groove. That was on the record. Glenn Johns, the producer, said, okay, we got to record it. So I jumped on the piano because the keyboard player had left. He got bored. And,
I love it.
Yeah, and then we recorded, and Eric said to me, okay, you go back to the hotel room tonight and write the lyric, please. So I came back the next day with the lyric, and we recorded it, and that was it. It was always a real organic thing. I don't know, it was never like, I never really did those kind of, writing sessions like in Nashville.
Right.
Not that that's a bad thing, but I didn't do that at the beginning. I did that later, and I've done a lot of songwriting camps where you are put together in a room with people that you don't even know, and sometimes it works. Sometimes, sometimes you don't get along with them, or sometimes your sensibilities are completely different.
Yeah,
or sometimes it works like, wow, you're just on fire, and you could sit there and write maybe a whole album in a day.
That's I just think that's so telling of Eric Clapton and some of these other people you worked with. That the trust level was so high. Just to say, let's go put those lyrics, lay those down, and make that happen. And there doesn't sound like there was a lot of ego going. It was just a lot about getting a good product and a good song and a good piece collaboration together. And that really brings me a lot of joy to hear that, as musicians, to hear that that's really how it went down. Working with certain artists, are they really stuck on certain key signatures or certain riffs? Or with, Eric Clapton, of course, like really wanting to stretch towards a more blues, formation? Or are you pretty open to push them out of some of the more comfortable boundaries? Or did you feel like you really need to stay within what was their comfort zone or what they were known for?
Well, working with Eric, you really have to respect what he was known for and what he was interested in.
Right.
And that's really what we did, but it wasn't forced or anything. It was just real natural because we were into similar kinds of music at the time. So
that's kind of nice.
Well, I've got a great question for you. We were looking through a lot of the details of your life and your bio and things like that, and we noticed
is extensive.
Yeah,
holy cow!
What I want to find out is how do you get to write with? Now, did you write with Aretha Franklin, Belinda Carlisle, Stanley Clarke, Burt Bacharach, Chaka Khan, Al Jarreau, or did you sing with them, or what did you do for all them? I mean, because that's all part of your bio.
You didn't even mention Alice Cooper, because that's what I was going to
we're not getting there yet, because that's our next question.
Okay, well, let's do them one at a time, because as you mentioned, there are many.
So many. You're just the bombs.
It's awesome.
I'm going to get a poster.
Okay, well, I did not write with Aretha. When I moved to L.A., after I left Tulsa, after working with Clapton for maybe 4 or 5 years, I decided I wanted to get out of Tulsa and move to either L.A. or New York. So I moved to L.A. because New York was like, oh, it's too much, I can't do it. So I moved out here to L.A., and I started doing a lot of session work. I mean, I just kept getting calls. I got calls from David Foster, through a friend of mine, this girlfriend of mine, who started going out with his engineer, a guy named Umberto Gatica. And then David started hiring me to do lots of stuff. But before I met David, I got calls from people doing Aretha, Bette Midler, like this amazing producer, one of my favorite producers of all time, Arif Mardin. He would call me and say, hey, Marcy, can you come and sing this demo for Bette? And I was like, oh, my God, what an honor to sing a demo.
Yeah.
See if Bette likes the song and put a vocal down on it. And then Arif would call me and have me do the background vocals. And it just kind of happened naturally, word of mouth, and just kept getting hired by all these different people. And when I worked with David Foster, it was through him that I got to work with Alice Cooper, because he was producing an Alice Cooper album. And I was doing an album of my own that I worked with David on. And, sometimes you're in sessions with producers that are like, oh, man, something about the way they work. You really have to stay on top of it, and you really have to pay attention, right?
Stay tuned in.
I did this one. Yeah, I did this one song where at the end of it, it was all just kind of free form, and it wasn't anything that I planned. I was just going with my instincts and riffing and stuff. And after I finished it, he said, double it. And I was like, oh, are you kidding me, man?
You need more?
Is this like a test? It took me a while because, like I said, it was really like from the heart. It came from a real inspired place.
Right.
So he really taught me even further. You really have to be 100% on your game and, know what you're doing.
And be willing to take some chances, it sounds like,
Yes.
too, because if you hesitate too much, it sounds like, you were really giving them all. And I, of course, I'm saying this to try to get our listeners to hear, you're in and get the opportunity to do session work, and they say, double down, sweetheart. You're like, I'm paying attention and trying to double down at the risk of being too much, right? Or risk of them not liking it. So, I mean, when you're using that's such I know it's a scary thing, and those of you who are vocalists out there too, I mean, when you decide what kind of voice to use, do they give you some perimeters, whether what kind of sound they want, or are they just trusting you're going to feel what to use on a first go of something?
It depends on what you're doing. That one thing that I was just speaking about David Foster, it was my album, so he didn't tell me what kind of voice to use. I was the artist. It was different. But a lot of times, working with different producers, of course, they're going to tell you what they want. Oh, can you make it breathier, or can you try not to scoop up to a note, or I want it strong, sing it harder, or, more emotion, or, whatever it is, they're going to tell you what they want, and you have to be able to deliver, because if you don't, they're going to call someone else to do it.
Absolutely. So at the end of the day, I guess this is going to be the real bare bones question, but any vocalists out there, how do you do that over and over again? What's your secret? Is it the best lozenges? Is it carrying a bag of honey with you? Is it how do you keep your voice at the end of this little session here? We just got 20 seconds. What's your secret?
Well, keep yourself hydrated. Careful what you eat, because it can really affect your speaking voice. Not really heavily spiced things, and smoking is really not a good idea. Yeah. Basically that, lozenges, whatever works for you. Everybody's different, so you have to find the thing that works for you.
You hear that, people?
All right.
Try.
Now, everybody just hold on, because when we come back in the fourth segment, we're going to be talking to Marcella about what she's currently working on for 2016.
Gray matters.
So we have to get into the future a little bit here. We've heard all about her past, and just hang out for 3 minutes. We'll be right back.
Thank you so much.
Hey, it's Catherine from Listen Local Radio. Moe's Guitars has proudly served the San Diego music community since 1975. Specializing in guitars, basses, mandolins, banjos, and ukuleles, they buy, sell, trade, and consign. If you're looking for lessons, repairs, accessories, and cool gear, you found the right place. Located in downtown La Mesa Village, stop by and check out their digs, or visit moesguitars.com or their Facebook page. mozeguitars.com, 619-698-1185.
Has your business been appified? Are you tired of doing marketing that doesn't deliver results? Mobile apps build loyalty and quality retention. Your app from UPG Mobile puts your business on their mind and at their fingertips. UPG Mobile will give you a custom app highlighting how you are unique, targeting your message, and improving your open rates. Appify your business and amplify your presence with your customers at upgmobilemarketinggroup.com.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
I raised $8,000 to build schools for South African children. After realizing how many people go hungry in San Diego, I now volunteer at a food pantry.
I'm spending the next year doing volunteer projects across 3 countries and helping in ways they designate to be the most helpful.
The World Link program at the Joan B. Kroc Institute for Peace and Justice recognizes the potential of youth as agents of social change. Learn how you can help youth become a generation of leaders in action at peace.sandiego.edu.
You've heard me bragging about Progressive Medical Center and how they've helped me feel so much healthier. But one thing, Dr. Agoli, that a lot of people come to you with is just unexplained pain. They just can't get any relief. Why can Progressive Medical Center's Pain Management Center help them?
First of all, we have to acknowledge that pain is for real, and you've got acute pain and chronic pain. Here's the problem. That acute pain turns to chronic, which is long-standing, and no one's getting to the root cause. There's several key diagnostic components that help us get to the root of what's causing this pain. Is it inflammation? Once we do a thorough evaluation evaluation to get to the root cause, determine if it's structural or if it's a metabolic issue. And this way, we put an individualized program for pain management involving correcting the spine, using certain injections when necessary, and we get our patients out of pain quicker, and they stay out of pain because we teach them how to live their life well.
Don't let yourself live in pain any longer. Get a hold of Progressive Medical Center today at progressivemedicalcenter.com.
Progressive Medical, this is your life, live it well.
Talk to me.
Information, news, and entertainment on demand.
WSRadio.com.
Moe's Guitars is the proud sponsor of Girls Talk Rock. Over 35 years of helping girls and guys rock. Moe's Guitars, M-O-Z-E, guitars.com.
Welcome to Girls Talk Rock, where the musician's creativity finds its voice. And here are your hosts, Tracy Smith and Beth Venus.
All right, we are back with Marcella Detroit. The amazing stories we've been hearing. But basically, we want to get right back into it because we've got very little time left. This is the fourth quarter.
Can you believe, Marcella? Thank you so much. Wow,
yes.
I just want to have
Very
dinner.
welcome.
I want to have dinner with you. I want to have drinks.
That's right. We want to hear all the stories.
We need to do
Yes.
that. So you're up. We're going to come up and we're going to do that. We're just
Yes.
pencil us in.
Okay, great.
Look out. We're going to send you a T-shirt and say it's a Girls Talk Rock Girls, and this is happening because I just think you are just so cool. She's like the coolest chick on the planet.
Yes,
Like,
amazing people that you've worked with. But what we want to know is, I'm sure our listeners want to hear, like maybe let's go with the most amazing story that you can think of while you're on tour with one of these really great artists that might have happened that you just had either such a great time or just your best story. We want to hear it.
Something fun.
Oh, God, best story. That's a hard one. I'm on the spot now. But I can tell you that I worked with Clapton twice. The first time was in, the first albums that I did with him with my friends. And that was, like, believe it or not, I'm no spring chicken, but I feel 12 always.
Awesome.
But the second stint I did with Eric was in 1985 for a year, and we were on tour, and then we got a call to do Live Aid, and so that we had to change the manager and booking people had to change all our plans and fly us from the West Coast all the way to Philadelphia to do Live Aid, which was sponsored by Sir Bob Geldof, trying to raise money for the We Are the World.
Awesome,
thing.
I remember all that.
I think that's a landmark in a lot of our lives. So it's really cool to hear that you. So when they flew you out, were you like, "What the heck?"
And you were
this?
an awesome part of it.
You got to be part of it.
Yeah, it was incredible, and to do that, we got there and we were waiting for Phil Collins because he was flying in from England when Concorde used to fly. He was flying in. He was going to meet us there, and we're waiting and waiting. And his plane lands, and finally the helicopter comes in, and we get on the stage. It was a revolving stage, and it had a curtain around. It was all outdoors. There were 105,000 people there watching, and millions of people watching around the world.
I'm sure I was at home watching.
Yeah, it was incredible. And then we're on the stage. I said, "Okay, take your places." And the stage revolved around. The one act got off, and then we got on. And the curtains opened, and you would not believe the sound that the crowd made. I mean, it was just incredible. We had our drummer, Jamie Oldacre, and Phil Collins playing, and the rest of our band. But the sound was so deafening. Eric looked at me, and he went, "Whoa!"
Even he was
like that's the loudest rock concert I've ever heard. Not the music, but the people. That's crazy.
Yeah, and me too. It was just overwhelming. The energy from the crowd was just incredible. We just felt like I felt like, wow, we can't do any wrong. This is just amazing, and it's all for such a great cause. So it was an incredible experience.
Now, did you just get one song, or did you get like a set?
No, we did a small set.
Okay,
very cool, very cool.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly how many songs. I think it was about 5 or 6 songs.
Cool.
I always wonder. You've been a part of so many great events and been on so many interesting, big and small and medium and every size stage and recording studios. When you see people coming up now and they seem to be in a big rush for stardom, is there like some fairy dust advice you can give them on, really how to not put junk miles into their career and make everything count? What's the thing that you are most happy about the decisions you made over your career up to this point?
Well, I would just say, just do things that you're proud of. Do things that you feel strongly about, and not just because somebody wants you to do them. I mean, I think that could be the biggest lesson of all, you know. Just be selective. Say no if it doesn't feel right. Don't do it just because somebody said, oh, you should do this or you should do that. Yeah. Do it because you want to do it, and do it and be authentic and genuine with the things that you choose to do. And really protect yourself. Protect your spirit. Protect your creations. Make sure you read or get a lawyer to look at anything.
I love it. Yeah.
Sign.
Yes. Entertainment lawyers. Hello.
Yeah, we need, especially these days, we really need to protect ourselves because everybody wants music for free.
Yep.
And it's available for free. And I would say just try not to give it all away. I mean, it's just, I don't know if any of your listeners watched the Grammys the other night, but they were talking about the importance of preserving our music and not giving stuff away for free. So I say don't give in to the madness, and, unless you want to give things away to your fans, I think that's a different thing. To do once in a while is a good thing. But just be careful, and protect yourself and read things and don't just go blindly into stuff. It's important.
Yeah, that's great advice. So what advice do you have? Well, not even advice. So what does 2016 actually hold for you? Are you doing anything currently? And if so, what is that? And give us the links and give us the shout-outs and everything for right now.
Right now, I'm promoting a single that's about to come out next month from a new album that I released late last year called Gray Matters. Yes. And they can find info about it at Gray Matters, and that's Matters with a Z, .info. It's got all the songs. It's got all the inspirations and lyrics. So I'm just promoting that. I went over to England in September to do some promo and a lot of radio on that. And I'm just getting ready to start a new campaign for one of the songs on the album.
And then who did you work with on that? Who's the players?
Basically, I produced it myself in my home studio.
Nice.
I did everything on my own, and I think it's really good for people to be able to learn how to, work on their own in their studios. And then if you need help, get other people in to play on stuff that maybe you can't play. But I think, the artist has a certain way they do things. They might not be the most technically perfect player, but they still have a voice and a technique that is viable, and I think that's important. It lends a certain kind of magic to it that just like a regular studio musician can't always do.
I agree.
Sometimes it's important because, even though I'm a frustrated drummer, I won't play drums on my tracks. I'll hire someone else in.
Well,
but anyway, I produced it myself, and then I sent it to a friend in England who mixed it for me. But he's a pro, and he's a great engineer and producer. And he also added a few instruments for me that he said, oh, how about this or that? And I thought it sounded great. So it was, an incredible experience to do something on my own, too.
You have to promise us that if you go on any kind of live tour, that you automatically send us the dates so we can send ourselves and everybody else to your shows.
That's right.
But we do have to finish our whole segment here with our famous Quattro questions.
Yeah,
we have four ridiculous questions.
We have 4 crazy questions that we ask at the end of every show. So it tells us a little bit about who you are.
Quick fix, quick answer. You got to go be quick. The women are usually really good at this.
All right, so the first question is, if your life was an opera, which opera would it be?
You studied
Madame
opera.
Butterfly.
Madame Butterfly. I love it. Tragic and delicious.
Yes.
Of course, this tells us about you. If you are a direction, are you north, south, east, or west?
West.
Oh,
there you
she's
go.
a
West Coast girl. There we go. All right. So when you retire, what is the home base or state or the country that you want to retire in?
Oh, maybe Italy.
No,
I'll join you. See, I'm thinking about that. That's like lovely. That's beautiful. I'll see you. And what is your favorite song or piece of music?
In history.
Yeah. That you would
in
like
history?
to be
Are you kidding?
Yeah, What's your favorite piece of I always say Simon and Garfunkel is my favorite, but who do you like?
Mozart, but, look at us. We're crazy.
Well, if I had to pick anything, I'd probably pick the Beatles, something by the Beatles. I love the Beatles' White Album, but I also love anything on the Sgt. Pepper's album. Those two albums are so inspirational. I just love them.
That's very cool. Well, we want to thank you from the bottom of our heart, Marcella Detroit.
Marcella Detroit. Look her up, friends, online. You're going to see so much more. And we're going to get her tour dates as soon as she's around. We're going to get you out here in Southern California.
Yes.
I want to see you live.
Yeah.
I want to thank you, Marcella Detroit, and WSRadio.com. We are Girls Talk Rock.
What a great
Tracy Smith.
Yep, and Beth Venus.
We're so happy to be here. Thank you to Moe's Guitars. Thank you, Silver Tiger Productions.
Thank you, Marcella.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Love all your listeners. Bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Hey, it's Catherine from Listen Local Radio. Moe's Guitars has proudly served the San Diego music community since 1975. Specializing in guitars, basses, mandolins, banjos, and ukuleles, they buy, sell, trade, and consign. If you're looking for lessons, repairs, accessories, and cool gear, you found the right place. Located in downtown La Mesa Village, stop by and check out their digs or visit moesguitars.com or their Facebook page. mozeguitars.com, 619-698-1185.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Hey guys, CS Keys here to introduce you to San Diego's #1 health meal prep provider, Fresh and Fit Meals. With over 40 menu items to choose from, several pickup locations all over America's finest city, made and delivered fresh, never frozen. Save on time and money. Super convenient and improves the quality of your life. Just visit the website, freshandfitmeals.com, for all the menus and the pricing. Or give them a call at 858-805-5949 for more details. Remember, you are what you eat, so you might as well be fresh and fit with Fresh and Fit Meals.
Take a break from politics. Tune in and learn something. WS Radio shows are worth your time and are filled with tips and advice. Add us to your lunch routine, and we'll give you a meal for your mind.
Do you want to be a professional coach? Are you in business trying to make a real difference with people you manage or work with? Have you started a coaching practice that isn't quite getting off the ground? Get the skills you need to be a successful coach today with the Coaches Training Program from Accomplishment Coaching. The Coaches Training Program will show you how to help others focus and be more fulfilled. Whether you want to improve your company's bottom line or create a thriving coaching practice, Accomplishment Coaching can give you the distinctions and practices you need to coach others effectively today. Accomplishment Coaching has spent 6 years developing a cutting-edge coaches training program that will have you ready to coach people professionally in just 12 months, and you don't have to take time off work to do it. To find out more about the Coaches Training Program, just call 1-888-548-6813. That's 1-888-548-6813.
Hi, this is Rob Barnett, VinVillage.com, where wine lovers connect. Be sure to tune in weekly to Vin Village Radio for exclusive, in-depth interviews with the who's who in wine and food.